Good morning, Hank. It's Wednesday, June 4th, the day after Barack Obama secured the nomination for the Democratic Party for president. But there's a burning question: with whom shall he run? God, I've got good grammar. Hank, this is my favorite time of the every 4 years, these heady weeks in between when we have a nominee and when we have a running mate. Because right now, anybody could be our next vice president. I mean, except for the 54% of the American population who's under the age of 35. And anyone who's more than one of the following: non-white, non-Christian, non-male, or indicted for a felony. It's like basically the pool of candidates is like the 20% of Americans who are either old white guys or old white women, and Condoleezza Rice. But Hank, we're not here to talk about Republicans. Instead, I'd like to introduce you to 10 of the most likely running mates for Barack Obama in 2008. Number 1, the junior senator from New York, Hillary Clinton. The upside: 18 million people have voted for her this year, and she's hugely popular with the kind of voters that Barack Obama has had trouble winning over. And she has the highest favorability ratings of any potential VP candidate. But she also has the highest unfavorability ratings. Also, to be frank, she and Obama have less chemistry than Diane Keaton and John Cusack in Must Love Dogs. Number 2, Montana Governor Brian Schweitzer. Schweitzer's funny and personable, and he's got that kind of down-home thing that plays so well in Appalachia. Plus, he's a really popular governor in a red state. But he wears a lot of bolo ties. And I gotta say, I'm not sure the American people are ready to be one heartbeat away from a bolo tie presidency. Number 3, Delaware Senator Joe Biden. Upside, he's got the best grasp of foreign policy in the Senate. Plus, he knows the difference between Sunnis and Shias, which is more than can be said for certain Republican nominees. But there's just something kind of Joe Biden-y about him, you know? You look at him and you just think like, oh man, you're so Joe Biden-y. Number 4, Connecticut Senator Chris Dodd. The upside? I have absolutely no idea. I mean, everyone says that this guy is a first-tier vice presidential candidate, but I don't get it. I mean, yes, he used to date Princess Leia, and that's hot, but that was 20 years ago. Now he's married to some woman who wasn't in any of the Star Wars movies. I don't understand why we would vote for this guy. Number 5, Kansas Governor Kathleen Sebelius. Upside, she's a brilliant red state governor, and she knows how to get things done in a bipartisan way. But it's not clear how good she is at campaigning. Also, an Obama-Sebelius ticket just doesn't trip off the tongue. I mean, Obama might as well pick as his running mate the girl who sells seashells by the seashore. 6, Virginia Governor Tim Kaine. The upside? He could help turn Virginia blue in 2008. Plus, he's a super religious Catholic, and Obama has had trouble attracting Catholics, so that could work out nicely. But I find him kind of boring. Also, he kind of has the Jack Nicholson playing the Joker eyebrows thing happening. Number 7, seven-fingered junior senator from Montana, Jon Tester. The upside? He only has 7 fingers because of a farming accident. That kind of thing plays fantastic in Appalachia. Plus, he's funny as hell, and he's gotten the same $6 flat top haircut at the same place in Montana his whole life. I've always said that the worse the haircut, the better the man. But he has almost no political experience. But who cares? You can buy political experience. You can't buy 7 fingers. Number 8, the junior senator from Virginia, Jim Webb. Former Republican, former Secretary of the Navy, big military guy. Plus, he writes novels, and they're actually really good. But he has a reputation for misogyny and all 10 fingers. Number 9, Republican Senator from Nebraska, Chuck Hagel. He's a moderate Republican opposed to the war, a man of his convictions, plus he's a Vietnam veteran, and he's from the West, and he's super Catholic. Chuck Hagel, you are a political demographer's wet dream. But you are also opposed to stem cell research, which isn't gonna fly with a lot of Democrats. And finally, number 10, New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson. A popular governor in a state Obama needs to win, plus he speaks Spanish. But the media is always saying it's not clear whether or not he's been thoroughly vetted, which in this case is code for everybody knows he cheats on his wife. So Hank, that's a brief introduction to some of the people we could be seeing a lot of in the next few months. Hey Nerdfighters, let us, and potentially Barack, if he happens to be reading the comments on our YouTube channel, know who you think should be vice president. And Hank, I believe I'll see you tomorrow.